I had to give up my guaranteed salary. I had to give up my benefits. I was super excited about this opportunity, but I was scared to death. I wanted to make it so bad in this business, it just tore me up inside. I wanted to be somebody so dadgum bad, it just ate me up inside. I wanted more than anything in the world somebody that knew what they were talking about to tell me exactly what I had to do to win in this business. This was my dadgum life. This wasn't any game. This was serious dadgum business. And I didn't want some sales trainer. I didn't want some motivational speaker blowing a lot of hot air up my butt. And see, I knew that somebody that looked like me and came from where I came from, to do it big, it was going to be ugly, it was going to be tough, it was going to be hard, and that was okay with me. I grew up tough. All I wanted was somebody to tell me like it is. Don't pull any punches. This is my dadgum life. And tonight, I'm going to tell you exactly how we did it at A.L. Williams. February 10, 1977, A.L. Williams was born. Just a peanut. 85 people here in Atlanta, Georgia. But we had a cause. We had a crusade. Our goal was to correct an injustice. Our mission was to destroy cash value life insurance. Those 85 people grew to an army of 225,000. In 1977, 86% of all life insurance sold was trash value. Today, 90+% of all life insurance sold is term. And A.L. Williams did that. A.L. Williams did that. Ain't that something? Ain't that dadgum something? See, the A.L. Williams legacy is awesome. We changed an industry and 1 million lives. In 1987, A.L. Williams started with a sales force of 85. Today, PFS starts with a sales force of 100,000. The potential, unbelievable. And let me tell you this, I love John and Rick. I love their leadership. They've seized the moment. They're totally obsessed with helping PFS become the most dominant company in financial services today. See, I really believe, folks, I really believe PFS has an opportunity to build an even bigger legacy than A.L. Williams did. But, and this is a big but, to do that, PFS has to find a way to build big teams. You see, A.L. Williams was a company of giants. In 1988, when we were 11 years old, you know, there were 2,000 companies in our industry, the largest industry in the world. And I published a list of the top 100 companies. And then I plugged our big A.L. Williams teams in there. 34 of those companies were A.L. Williams teams. And I believe to build these big teams, there's 4 keys. Number 1, the key to building big teams is all about building personal relationships. Folks, this is a one-on-one business. This is a face-to-face business. To build big teams, the fundamentals of this business never change. And it takes time to teach your people about the goodness of our company. It takes time to teach your people about the rightness of our cause, the uniqueness of our system. It takes time to build leaders. It takes time to get commitments. It takes time to build trusting relationships, to help your people believe in themselves, that they're special, that they can do something important. It takes time to make your people your friend. There's no shortcuts in this business. Building personal relationships is everything. One final thought about building personal relationships. You must get involved in your people's lives. See, most of these dadgum business schools around the United States, they teach you don't get too close to your people. Don't get involved in their personal life. Well, bull. That ain't the way it was, and that ain't the way it is today. Folks, you gotta get involved in your people's lives. You gotta make your people your friend. You gotta get to know the family. You got to share their life, their personal life and their business life. Yes, it hurts from time to time. Yes, it's messy from time to time. But it's the only way to build a great business. And you know what? Building personal relationship begins with every new recruit. See, we're not in the business of throwing a bunch of crap up against the wall and some stick, some don't. You gotta treat every new recruit like they're a future RVP. You must make everything a new recruit does a big deal. You gotta celebrate their first sale. You gotta celebrate their first recruit. You gotta celebrate every success. You gotta let every recruit know that you believe in them. Let me give you two examples. When I built my first base shop, by the way, the first base shop in our company, I called every single person on my team every week. And when we grew, I built leaders that would carry on that personal contact with every single person to let them know that we were there to help them do something important. Another example, when we became a sales force of 225,000, the first thing I did every day when I went to my office, before I did anything else, I signed 200 go-go letters personally, congratulating somebody that was just promoted to RVP or NSD or just joining our team. Always remember, folks, your people are your greatest asset. You win with people. You don't win with products. You don't win with commissions. You don't win with contests. Always remember, when you look at each person in your organization, pretend they've got a sign, a big neon sign on their dadgum chest that says, make me feel special, make me feel important. Building great teams begin with building personal relationships. Number two, building big teams require that you have a passion about what you do. See, this is serious business, folks. We're changing people's lives. It's got to be more than just about the money. See, your passion is your heart. Your passion's your mind. Your passion's your soul. How do you get a passion? You get a passion by loving it. Mickey Mantle, the great baseball player with the New York Yankees, said, I love hitting the baseball. I love hitting a baseball. I wake up every day, I'm excited to go out to the ballpark and hit a baseball. I love hitting a baseball. When it rains out a game, I get angry because I want to go out and hit a baseball. I don't like it, I love it. He said you can't ever do anything big if you just like it. You gotta love it. Once you love it, once you have this passion, how do you keep this passion? You keep a passion by not ever forgetting the things that blew your butt out of the water. Hey, let me just give you 4 examples. I never got over what a rip-off trash value life insurance was. You lose your cash value if you die? Well, throw up. Folks, let me ask you this. How could a life insurance company create such a crappy product? Hey, let me ask you this. How could a life insurance salesman, 90% of those jokers own term on their own life and sold trash value life insurance? How could those jokers sell that crap? You know what? I never got over what a ripoff it was. And you know what? I love sticking it up their butt. I never got tired of rubbing their nose in it. I never got over how much money you could make part-time. You know, when I started coaching in Thomasville, Georgia, making $4,600 a year. After football season, I used to referee basketball games to make extra income. I'd run up and down that basketball court for 3 hours and make $12, and I found buy term and invest the difference. I went in to make my first sale to my assistant coach, Robert Kelly. It took 45 minutes. I took the same money he was spending for $10,000 trash value policy, and I gave him a $100,000 term policy. I left there in 45 minutes, and that company paid me $324. The next 2.5 years, I never made a sale during football season, but the other 6-month part-time, I was able to save $42,000 part-time. It changed my life, and it changed my family's life. I never got over what they did to my mama. My daddy died at age 48 of a heart attack. I had two younger brothers, one a junior in high school, one in the 6th grade. I saw personally up close what a tragedy selling too little of the wrong kind of insurance does to a widow. And I never got over it. I took it personal. I wanted to punish them. I wanted to hurt them. I never got over the magic of compound interest. This just blew my butt out of the water. You know, if you went down to Bank A and you invested $1,000 for 70 years at 5% interest, that's worth $30,000. But if you go to Bank B and invest that same $1,000 and you get 10% interest, everything inside of me, all my common sense says that's twice as much interest. That's got to be worth twice as much. That's got to be $60,000. But at 10% interest, that $1,000 grows to $790,000. That's magic. Ain't that something? Well, you know what? You know what? If you go to Bank C and you invest another $1,000 for 70 years and you just get 2% more, just 2% more, that's worth $2.7 million. Ain't that something? Folks, you got to get this passion. You got to love it. And you can't ever forget the things that blew your butt out of the water. See, I believe with everything that's in me, you win with your heart, not your head. Coach Lombardi, the great coach of the Green Bay Packers, in the last meeting he spoke to before he died, was speaking to a group of top executives in Washington, D.C. Early in his speech, speaking to these hundreds of people out there, he said, I'm going to give you tonight the secret of winning in business. There was a hush that came over the room. You could hear a pin drop. And the great man said, the secret to winning in business is heart power. You capture the heart, you capture the man. You must get your people to fall in love with your company. See, folks, the single most important lesson I learned coaching football and coaching A.L. Williams is you win with your heart, not your head. You win on emotion, not on logic. See, Prudential sold life insurance to make a living. A.L. Williams sold life insurance to correct an injustice. What a powerful advantage we have. Step number 3, to build big teams, you got to become a leader, and you got to build with the right kind of people. See, leaders are like a dadgum magnet. People are just drawn to them, like bees to honey. And you show me anything in this United States that win, a Boy Scout troop, church, club, business, football team, I'll show you something run by a leader. And the common denominator of all great leaders is they're do-it-first people. They're do-it-first people. You want to win, go be a leader, and then do it first. Lead by example. You want your people to make money, you go make money first. If you want your people to recruit, you go recruit first. And then, once you become a leader, then you've got to recruit the right kind of people. See, I believe corporate America has tried to program people like me to believe that the winners are the pretty people in our country today. They got these perfect bodies. They're 6'2", slim, 185 pounds. They wear these 3-piece suits, these power ties, these wingtip shoes. They got this slick back hair and this beautiful smile and this perfect teeth, and they're great tennis players. Well, bull. Not only do they have these perfect bodies, but these pretty people have the perfect background. See, they've tried to program people like me to believe if you're born rich and you're born on the right side of the tracks, that you're the privileged class, that you're supposed to go to college, that you're supposed to get all the good jobs. But if you're born from a poor or average, ordinary background like I came from, you must give up your big dreams and your big ambitions. Well, bull. They say if you have a high IQ, they rule you brilliant. If you have an average IQ like me, they say you got to drive a truck or be a janitor. Well, bull. People are judged in our country today by how high they score on aptitude tests, personality tests, achievement tests, and crap like that. Bull. Ain't nobody ever devised a test, nor will they devise a test that can measure the heart of a champion. Let me tell you about the right kind of people. The right kind of people are so dadgum motivated, it's ridiculous. I wanted to be somebody so dadgum bad, it's ridiculous. See, folks, I don't know why I'm like I am, but my butt's always burning. There's something inside of me that says, Art, you're supposed to go for it. Or dadgummit, you're supposed to be somebody. Or dadgummit, you're supposed to do something important. For 20 years in this business, I woke up every day scared I wasn't good enough. I went to bed every night for 20 years scared that I wasn't going to make it. My goal for 20 years was to get better every day. I could never recruit enough people. I could never promote enough people. I could never make enough money. I could never save enough money. I was so dadgum motivated, nothing could stop me. Nothing could stop me. And you know what? You know what? Some of you might be saying right now, Art, you're a madman. And you know what? You're right. You got to be a dadgum madman to win in this business. See, I believe the difference between being great and average and ordinary is this much. Folks, it's just too scary to talk about. See, you can do 99% of the things right in business and not do this much and you're going to fail. But you can screw up every day in business just like I did, and if you do this much, you're guaranteed to win. See, this much is a special kind of attitude. It's a special kind of mental toughness. It's a special kind of hunger and desire to be somebody. See, number 4, if you want to build a big team, you got to have a oneness in your organization. There's got to be a oneness. Everybody's got to operate with one heartbeat. Everybody's got to buy into your system. Everybody's got to be on the same page. See, there's no two ways at PFS. There's the PFS way or there's the highway. Hey, let me give you some principles about A.L. Williams. A.L. Williams was not a sales company. A.L. Williams gave people like me and you a chance to go in business for yourself, to have ownership, to build your own company within a company. And there are 2 big disadvantages in sales that I didn't like. Number 1, you're unemployed every day. Every day you wake up, you don't go make a sale, you don't eat. And number 2, you have a limited income. There's just you or a handful of people, and it limits your income potential. I wanted to build a team, and that gave me 2 big advantages. Number 1, it gave me a secure income. I overrode dozens and then hundreds and eventually thousands of people. And then it gave me a chance to have an unlimited income by recruiting unlimited numbers of people. A.L. Williams was not a sales company. Another principle, A.L. Williams was a warm market company. We never cold call. We never talk to strangers. We never knock on a stranger's door. We never call a stranger on a cold telephone. We never go to Carnival and sit at a booth and hand out suckers and blues to the little kids that come along to get their mama's and daddy's name. When you come to work at A.L. Williams, you never have to set up an appointment. Somebody does that for you. You never go in a stranger's home alone. See, the A.L. Williams way is no pressure. Everybody starts part-time. And by doing that, A.L. Williams was able to go into communities and hire the cream of the crop, the best quality people, doctors and lawyers and businessmen and women and housewives and the best people in a community. And let me tell you the secret to our explosive growth. See, A.L. Williams grew by multiplication, not addition. Prudential and all those other traditional companies, they had an insurance office and they had a manager that did the recruiting and training, and everybody else was salespeople. And if that leader went out and recruited 3 people, and he did that 10 times, that would give him a total organization of 30 people. But A.L. Williams grew by multiplication. We gave people a chance to build their own company within a company. So if you go out and recruit 3 people, just 3 people, and then you teach people the A.L. Williams way and give them a chance to go recruit 3 people. And if you recruit 3 people and then you do that times 10, that's 59,000 people. Ain't that something? Ain't that dadgum something? See, to create this explosive growth, you gotta have the ability. Now, when you get big, you gotta have the ability, and the bigger you get, it's more important. You gotta have the ability to simplify the complicated. See, I can explain to a new recruit the whole A.O. Williams system on one page. 9 simple steps. I can take a new recruit, and I can teach him the whole A.O. Williams system in 30 minutes. Now, the company also has to have the ability to simplify the complicated. See, most companies lose because they're like the federal government. They ain't worth a damn and nothing, you know? They're just a big old bureaucracy. Can't do anything efficient. In 1984, when we kicked Prudential's book, this was their rate book. And if you took a ruler, it was an inch thick. And Prudential had, they had 3 different kind of series of products. They had the Gibraltar series. Modified Life 3, Modified Life 5, Modified Life 10, Modified 25, 10 life paid up at 85, Economatic Whole Life, life paid up at 90, life paid up at 85, life paid up at 65, 20-year pay life, 10-year pay life, co-life, joint whole life. Now, if you didn't like those, they had the estate plans. They had Modified Life 5, Citation 50, life paid up at 90, Professional 50, Modified 2, life paid up at 85, Modified Life 3, Modified Life 5, Modified Life 10, Graded Premium Whole Life, the abbreviator, Modified Life 21, Increasing Premium Life paid up at 90, Modified 25, 10 life paid up at 85, Estate 25 Whole Life, Economatic Low Life, life paid up at 90, life paid up at 85, 20-year pay life, 10-year pay life, co-life, joint whole life. Now, if you didn't like the Gibraltar series and you didn't like the State series, they had the Pruco series. Variable life waiver premium, appreciable life waiver premium, appreciable life level death benefit, appreciable life variable death benefit, variable appreciable life level death benefit, a variable appreciable life variable death benefit, variable appreciable life. Now let me just go through as quick as I can the qualities of a leader. But first, let me tell you something sort of scary. See, folks, most people fail in business because they run out of time. You see, this business of winning in business is a 10-year game or a 20-year game. This is not get rich quick. And you know, most people fail because they keep changing. They keep changing. And then all of a sudden, they're no longer 25 or 35 or 45 or 55, and they don't have another 10 years. They don't have another 20 years. So see, you know what? I'm 69 years old, but I feel 16. See, folks, you're here on this earth for just a flicker. You're here on this earth for just a flicker. See, not long from now, they're going to be planting you in the ground out there, and they're going to be patting you in the face with a shovel, and there's going to be a tombstone over your head, and it's going to say one of 2 things. It's going to say, here lies a dud, or here lies a stud. Now, folks, let me ask you this. Now, folks, let me ask you this. What's your tombstone going to say about you? See, another key that these winners possess, they're so dadgum focused, it's ridiculous. See, when we opened A.O. Williams in 1977, our vision had 2 parts. Number 1, we saw ourselves involved in a great event. Folks, I never had any doubt that we were going to kick Prudential's butt and become the most dominant company in the industry. I never had any doubt. We were out there correcting an injustice. See, our mission was to destroy cash value life insurance. Number 2, the second part of our vision was to give our A.O. Williams people a chance to have ownership, to build their own company within a company, to build total financial independence. Do you know how special that is for people like me that come from where I come from? To give our families a chance to build total financial independence, where nobody could put their thumb on you, where nobody could squeeze you, where you could tell everybody out there to take a dadgum flying leap if you wanted to. See, the A.O. Williams company was so dadgum focused, it's ridiculous. We didn't want to be friends with those people in the wrong color jerseys. We didn't want to get along. We didn't want to be nice. We didn't want to be politically correct. Our goal was to destroy those jokers. Our goal was to give our people a chance to build total financial independence. And you know what? You know what? If this kind of talk is too tough for you, if you're too smart, if you're too pretty, If all this sounds too corny, then don't let the door hit you in the butt. You know what? You know what? A.L. Williams was built for tough people. See, we're not going to beg you for your business. We're not going to beg you to join our team. See, I found out 40 years ago that you can't force people to do what they don't want to do. See, you can't teach a pig to sing. Folks, you can't take a dud and make him a stud. If you want to build big teams and build financial independence, you got to find people that want it, that see it, that believe it, that love it. See, I believe the single most important thing you develop in your lifetime is a positive attitude. See, folks, you got to always have a workout attitude. The glass has always got to be half full. You got to look for the good in all situations. You got to expect your people to be positive. You can't ever let your meetings turn into a gripe session. See, folks, you can overcome every problem in the world, but you can't ever overcome an attitude problem. You can overcome financial problems, business problems, personal problems, recruiting problems, sales problems, but you can't ever overcome an attitude problem. Let me give you an unwritten law in this business. People won't follow or believe in a negative, dull, disillusioned, frustrated, dadgum crybaby. See, winners are always excited. See, the greatest definition of a winner I ever heard is almost everybody can stay excited for 2 or 3 months. A few people can stay excited for 2 or 3 years, but a winner will stay excited forever. Another unwritten law is, folks, always remember, you only control 2 things. You control your attitude. You have a choice every day about your attitude. When you wake up, you can be positive or you can be negative. The second thing you control is your activity. You have a choice every day when you wake up. You can be a leader, go out there and do it first, lead by example, or you have a choice of being a manager, sitting on your butt, always talking, always planning. See, winners are so disciplined, and let me tell you what discipline is. The definition. Doing what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. I had one rule if you were going to play on my football team, and you were going to come to practice every day. Unless your butt was in the hospital dying, you were going to be at practice. I was out, we were beginning practice one day with my first football team, and I was fixing to line up everybody for calisthenics, and I saw my starting right guard, Johnny Campbell, come walking out to the practice field in his blue jeans and t-shirt. And I hollered over at him, I said, "Campbell, have you quit? What's wrong with you? Why ain't you dressed out?" He said, "Coach, a bee stung me today, and my face is swollen up, and I got one eye that's closed, and I can't get the helmet over my head." And I said, "Campbell, if you want to play on this football team, you get your butt back in the locker room, and you put that uniform on, and you find a way to squeeze that helmet over your head. And just think about it, Campbell. If you can practice with one eye, just think how good you're going to play Friday night with both eyes." See, another unwritten law in this business. You got to show up to work every day. If you feel good or if you feel bad, you got to do what you're supposed to do, and you got to do it when you're supposed to do it. See, I believe, folks, the single most important thing to winning is the power of believing in you. The power of believing that you can win. The power of believing that good things will happen to you. The power of believing that you're special. See, folks, I believe the biggest single obstacle to success for most people out there is not lack of education, it's not lack of background, it's not lack of money, but it's a lack of belief in yourself. See, another unwritten law is, folks, you got to expect to win. See, life don't give you what you want or what you'd love to have. See, everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to be somebody. Everybody wants to make a difference with their life. Everybody wants financial freedom. But you know what? Life don't give you what you want. Life gives you what you'll accept. If you'll accept being average and ordinary, that's exactly what you've got to look forward to. If you'll accept having financial problems, that's exactly what's going to happen to you. If you'll accept being unhappy, you're going to be unhappy. See, winners expect to win. Winners show up and fight. Winners demand for themselves success and happiness and fulfillment. Winners have what I call this can-do attitude. See, the worst two words in the English language is I can't. When Art and April were this big and could understand what words are, when they said I can't, I made them do 3 push-ups. Folks, there ain't nothing you can't do if you want it bad enough. Another thing I found out about most winners is they're big dreamers. They're big dreamers. And I believe that the high school years are for most people the peak years to dream and be excited about life. You know, these kids come into the 9th grade and their eyes are big as a baseball. They start driving or dating, or they're playing in games before hundreds of thousands of people, or they're in beauty contests, they're on debate teams. You know, to them, life is a bowl of cherries. They have an attitude that I was put on this earth to make a difference. I'm going to go out and conquer the world. And then they graduate. And then they get dumped down the big bad world. And people start lying to them and screwing them and using them. And they change jobs 2 or 3 or 4 times. And then one day, they roll out of bed. And this once vibrant, turned on human being becomes a shell of a man. And they develop an attitude that life's passed me by, that I just got to take it, that I can't hope again, that I can't dream again. See, folks, when you really get down to it, at A.O. Williams, we didn't sell life insurance. We didn't sell investments. It was so much bigger than that. See, at A.O. Williams, we gave people a chance to dream again. Do you know how important that is when you're out there frustrated and getting beat up? We gave people a chance to hope again. We gave people a chance to be excited again. See, winners are great encouragers. Winners are great encouragers. If you want to build a big team, you've got to become an expert in praising people. Jack Welch said, "The thing that gets praised gets done." I love the recognition tonight. Recognition and praise is everything. Mary Kay said, "The only thing more powerful than money and sex is praise and recognition." That's for my 7 little grandbabies right there. See, another unwritten law. Another unwritten law. See, nobody wants a boss. Nobody wants a boss. Everybody hates a boss. Nobody wants a boss, but everybody needs a coach. Everybody needs a coach. See, bosses are quick to criticize. Coaches are quick to praise. Folks, always remember when you're having a private meeting with one of your people and you're talking about their life, their business, you can say 99 positive things and 1 negative thing, and all they're going to remember is the 1 negative thing. See, another unwritten law. The 4 most powerful words in the English language is I believe in you. I believe in you. See, winners know the importance of sacrifice. See, sacrifice is giving up immediate wants for long-range goals. Remember the A.O. Williams vision? We give people a chance to build their own company within a company, a chance to build total financial freedom where nobody can put their thumb on you and squeeze you. See, folks, I knew RVPs and A.O. Williams that made millions of dollars, but they never achieved total financial freedom. I knew RVPs and A.O. Williams that never made gigantic incomes, but they became totally financially independent. 3 weeks ago at my grandbaby's wedding in Highlands, North Carolina, I met 2 young RVPs, an RVP couple from Tulsa, Oklahoma, Bridget and Brent. And Bridget and Brent, if you can get down here, I'd like to give you a t-shirt. If you can't get down here, then I'll give it to Dwayne and you can give it to him, okay? But I met these two great new RVPs, and I was so dadgum electrified I couldn't stand it. They reminded me of those original 85 people in A.L. Williams. They have a passion about this business that's just unbelievable. They love their people. It's just unbelievable. And let me tell you this. If, boy, you're producing RVPs in this company today, like Bridget and Brent, man, this future of this company is mind-boggling. But they told me something real exciting. They said when they got promoted to RVP, they sold their house, they went and rented an apartment, they wanted to cut their expenses, they wanted to make it so dadgum bad they couldn't stand it, and they just didn't want to have any financial pressure on them. And Brent told me, he said, Art, we're saving more money than we've ever saved in our life, and they're just getting started. That's what A.L. Williams is all about. If you want total financial freedom, step number one is you got to have a plan. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to fiddle fart around and get there. You got to have a plan. There's got to be a number worked out in your mind that's going to be financial independence for you, and you got to work out a plan and how you're going to get there. You got to sacrifice things you would love to have. You got to have a plan. And then step number two, you got to sacrifice things you would love to have right now in order to achieve things that would change your life forever. What happened, Angie? They're there. Bridget and Brad. Hey there. Hey, Bridget. Hey, I'm proud of you too. Y'all are something else. Let me keep it together. You know what? You know what? Winners play with a whole different level of intensity. See, winners don't ever show hurt. Winners don't ever show quit. Winners don't ever show fear. See, my proudest record as a head football coach for 5 years in the state of Georgia is I never had to call timeout and go drag one of my kids off the field. See, you know, you former football players, there's nothing as exciting as what I call that Friday night feeling. Man, you worked hard all year and you're getting ready to go out and play, and Thursday night you said, dadgum excited, you can hardly sleep. And you wake up the next day and you go to school, and all the students and all the teachers are patting you on the back and say, go get them, Art. Man, I'm so excited about tonight. And you show up at the locker room about 5:30 or 6 o'clock, and you get taped up and you get your uniform on and you just about to burst. And then at 7 o'clock the coach says, let's go out. And you charge out on the field to loosen up, and the band's playing and your little girlfriend's up there in the stands, and man, you just can't stand it. You're about to explode inside. And then at 20 minutes to 8, I take the players, I take them back to the locker room for the last minute instructions. And right before we leave the locker room to go do battle, the last thing I tell them is, I said, fellas, while y'all were out there loosening up tonight, did you see me out there talking to the referees? I told the referees, I said, Mr. Ref, you see those guys in the wrong color jerseys? See, they don't love it like us. They ain't as tough as us. They don't want it like we do. Mr. Ref, I want you to know I've never had to call timeout and drag one of my kids off the field. And I want you to know, Mr. Ref, if one of my kids get hurt, I ain't going to go out there and get them. I want you to know, Mr. Ref, you're going to have to move the ball to the other side of the field and play a little while till they work themselves off the field. And now, you know what? You know what? If one of my kids got hurt, I'd have been the first one out there to pick them up. But you know what? They didn't know that, so they didn't get hurt. Folks, if you want to win in this business, you can't ever show hurt. You can't ever show doubt. You can't ever show fear. See, to win in this business and to win in life, you got to have a goal of having a balanced life. And this is tough. See, another unwritten law. You can't separate your business life from your personal life. See, a lousy personal life and a lousy spiritual life will destroy your business life. Just 3 recent examples. The governor of California gets his maid pregnant and destroys a marriage and a career. Ain't that sad? Tiger Woods, unbelievably sad. John Edwards, running for president of the United States, has a baby with another woman, and his wife has cancer. Ain't that something? See, you gotta have the right priorities. God should be first, family second, business third. Now folks, please understand, that's easy to say, but hard to accomplish. You're not going to be perfect. You're going to screw up all the time, but you've got to have a goal of having a balanced life. You know, as president of A.O. Williams, I went to bed more than a dozen times, put my head on a pillow, and folks, I didn't think we were going to be able to survive. Absolutely could not figure out a way that we could possibly survive. We were out of business. It was impossible. Let me give you two examples. The first company we sold life insurance with was Financial Assurance. The fourth month we were at Financial Assurance. We were having a fast start school at the Presidential Hotel. That Friday afternoon before our kickoff event Friday night, I was in my room dressing, and I get a call from Joe Jack Merriman, the owner of Financial Assurance, and he said, "Art, you lied to us." You know, I gave him a business plan and said we were going to do $1 billion worth of business the first year. We did a $4 billion worth of business the first 3 months. He said, "Art, we didn't want to get this big. We don't have the money to get this big. We're going to have to shut this thing down." Ain't that something? The owner of the company telling you he doesn't have the money. We can't go on. We got to shut it down. Another example, our second company we went with, National Home Life, Art DeMoss, the founder of that company, died of a heart attack at age 54. We had been talking to Pencore, a California company, and they said they could build a home office in Atlanta, Georgia, which was my dream for us, but it would take 18 months. When Art DeMoss died, they put National Home Life up for sale. They told us they didn't want to pay any more advance commissions because that created debt, and that was not going to aid them in selling the company. And here the company that was going to take our business said it was going to take 18 months. And through Bo Adams' magic, we were able to keep those advances coming until we could build a new home office with Pencore. Somehow, in these impossible situations, an answer would always come. Looking back, I know now that the Lord's hand was always in our company. See, folks, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough to get any credit for what A.O. Williams did. The Lord has blessed me beyond anything I could have hoped for or imagined. I was blessed with the most wonderful wife a man could have. I fell in love with Angela in the second grade, true story. Only girlfriend I ever had. Last year we celebrated our 50th year anniversary. Angela and I shared everything together, the good times and the tough times, and we're still standing. I was blessed with two amazing children, Art and April, who married two amazing spouses, Krista and Mark, and they gave me 7 unbelievable grandbabies. The greatest single joy of my life are my babies. I love you so. Another unwritten law. All the money in the world can't compensate for you failing at home. Folks, you've got to give your family, and it's hard, but you've got to find a way to give your family all the time and all the love that they deserve and that they should have. Another unwritten law. You see, I believe you beat 50% of the people just by working hard. Folks, you beat 50% of the people just by working hard. You beat another 40% by trying to live right and find something you believe in, something you love. That's 90% of the people by working hard, finding something you believe in and something you love. and the top 10% is a dogfight. You know, Gary Player won more international golf tournaments than anybody in the history of golf. He's in the Golf Hall of Fame down in Florida. And Gary Player said in an article I read one day, he said, you know, I played in countries all over the world, and everywhere I play, you know, really people are the same everywhere. People are really the same everywhere. Everywhere I play, I have some guy or gal that's either starting golf or they've been playing golf, and they come up and they tell me that at the end of the round, they say, Gary, I love watching you hit a golf ball. I love watching you hit a golf ball. I'd give anything if I could hit a golf ball like you. And he said one day he had a particularly frustrating round, and somebody said that, and he turned around and he said, no, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. You're just kidding yourself. You know what you know what you have to do to hit a golf ball like me? You have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. You got to go down, you got to hit 1,000 golf balls. You hit so many golf balls till your hand starts bleeding. You walk up to the clubhouse, you wash that stuff off your hand, you slap a bandage on there, and you go back down, you hit another 1,000 golf balls. Yeah, you'd love to hit a golf ball like me if it was easy. Well, nothing good comes easy. We had 2 RVPs in Dallas, Texas. Both same age, same sex, sell in the same city, the same state. We have the same contract. Everything on the outside looks the same. They're both good leaders. They're good to their people. They work hard. They do everything you're supposed to. But what does a $500,000 a year person do that the $50,000 a year person doesn't do? He does everything you're supposed to and a little bit more. He does everything you're supposed to and a little bit more. He recruits it a little bit more. He makes money a little bit more. He saves money a little bit more. If you want to learn to win in this business, you better learn to do everything you're supposed to and a little bit more. I'm 62 years old. 7 years ago, I had open heart surgery. And folks, I believe since I left you 20 years ago, I exercise 5 or 6 times every week. And I don't believe there's been 5 times in the last 21 years that I've ever stopped at the finish line. This concept was so programmed in me that you always do a little bit more, that if I'm jogging 2 miles, then I don't ever stop at the finish line. I always go to that next telephone pole. I always go to that next tree. See, winners don't ever quit. Winners don't ever quit. See, this winning is a 10-year game. It's a 20-year game. You're going to ride a roller coaster all those 10 years or all those 20 years till you get to the end game. And it's unwritten law. Things are never as good as they seem. Folks, I don't care how good you think it's going right now. I don't care how much momentum you got. I don't care how much money you're making. I don't care how much money your people are making. I don't care how happy you are in your business. Folks, you're always one day away from a disaster. Tomorrow, you're going to get killed. Things are never as good as they seem, but also things are never as bad as they seem. When that disaster comes, and it's coming, get ready. Folks, don't quit. It's a 10-year game. It's a 20-year game, and things are never as bad as they seem. You got to keep calling to play. Keep calling to play. Keep calling to play. Keep calling to play. See, winners are not afraid to fail. See, folks, everybody's not going to buy. Everybody's not going to sign hiring papers. Every recruit is not going to make it. Most everything you do in this business is not going to work out. But in spite of that, in spite of most everything not working out, you know that going in, you still can't be afraid to fail. You know, in a high school football game, if you got 2 teams that are pretty equal in ability, there's typically 120 plays in a game, 60 plays by each team. And you know, every play is designed to work every time. But you know what? If 2 teams are pretty evenly matched, there's going to be 4 or 5 plays out of those 120 plays that are going to determine who wins or not. And you know who's going to win? You know who's going to win? The team, even knowing that 98% of those plays are not going to work, They go out there 120 times and give it everything they got, leave it all on the dadgum field. And what they think in their mind, they say this next play might be one of those 4 or 5 plays. Let me tell you this about our business, another unwritten law. Folks, you're always one recruit away from an explosion. You're always one recruit away from an explosion. Folks, I don't care how bad it looks. I don't care what kind of disaster you're experiencing in your business life right now. The next recruit, the very next recruit, could thrust you to RVP, could thrust you to financial independence. In our business, everything is not going to work out, but enough will. If you give it everything you got, every play and every day. Winners don't make excuses. See, there's no such thing as almost winning. There's no such thing, folks, as almost being financially independent. You is or you ain't. See, winners, they do it. See, most people in our country almost get there. They almost are over the hump. They almost have it going. Almost is a way of life to almost everybody, but the winners, they do it. What do? They do whatever it takes to get the job done. They do it and do it and do it and do it until the job gets done. And then they talk about how great it is to be somebody they're proud of. We need leaders at PFS who can do it. If you want to become somebody, dadgummit, do it. If you want to become financially independent, talk is cheap, do it. I hear too much talk around A.O. Williams. We need people who can do it. I hear everywhere I go, Art, you can count on me. Wonderful, just do it. Art, I'm going to be a sales leader in 30 days. Great, just do it. Art, our Life Underwriters Association is going to run all you termites out of the business. Wonderful, just do it. Boy, if I could just have one good month, I could make it big. We'll do it. Art, if I could just pay off this debt, I could really go. We'll do it. Art, if I could just sell my house, do it. But houses ain't selling. Do it anyway. Art, I'm not making any money. What I do, you just do it. Do what, Art? You do it and do it and do it. Art, when I get to be an RVP, can I quit doing it? Nope. Art, I guarantee I'm going to win this contest. Wonderful, just do it. Art, I guarantee I'm over the hump now. Super duper, just do it. Art, I want to make it so bad I can taste it. What I do, you just do it. Art, I'm really hurting. I don't know if I can keep on keeping on. What I do, you just do it. Do what, Art? You do it and do it and do it. Art, all my life I wanted to be somebody important. We'll do it then. Art, I'm going to recruit 20 people this month. Great, just do it. Art, I'm going to save money so I don't ever have to go through this again. Wonderful, just do it. I'm hurting, Art. I'm really hurting. What I do, you just do it. Art, I don't feel like I've had enough training. What I do, you just do it. Art, I don't feel like my NSD gives me enough help. What I do, you just do it. Art, you don't understand. I was Mr. Everything at my former company. Look at what I've accomplished. You know, you don't mean somebody like me's got to start off down there and do it, do you? Yep, you really got to do it. Art, what's the primary difference between winners and losers? The winners do it. They do it and do it and do it and do it until the job gets done.